Texas this morning. Mr. Baker, thank you for joining us. You were part of the Reagan administration back when President Reagan vetoed the Anti-Apartheid Act that Randall Robinson discussed here just a minute ago. I wanted to ask you, did Ronald Reagan ever come to regret that veto? It was overridden by the Congress and sanctions were put on the South African government. But how did President Reagan feel about that as time went on?
Well, I'm sure he did regret it, Bob. In fact, I'm certain that he did. It was, after all, I think the only time that a veto of his had been overridden, or was overridden in 2 terms, I believe. And so certainly he regretted it. On the other hand, once that happened and control of South African policy passed to the Congress, President Reagan was really determined to meet with and deal with the question of meet with the black leaders of South Africa and deal with the problems of apartheid, and he was able to do so. I had the privilege of meeting with Nelson Mandela in Namibia on the occasion of Namibian Independence Day, just 3 short weeks after he had been released from prison, and I have to tell you that I was really amazed at the soft-spokenness of this man, at the conviction of this man, at the dignity of this man. He had an enduring and endearing presence of dignity that I don't think I've ever seen on any other person. And I just have always felt that this was an extraordinarily beautiful human being who became, of course, an icon of freedom, of human rights, and of reconciliation. How many people forgive their captors when they've been kept in prison for 27 years? And as Maya Angelou said to you earlier in the program, had it not been for Nelson Mandela, and by the way, F.W. de Klerk, there would have been blood flowing in the streets when apartheid ended in South Africa. But because of Nelson Mandela and F.W. de Klerk, apartheid